Good evening, viewers. Today we are here with a special episode. Before I start and give information about the special three-part episode, we would be doing this all live in English. And the reason behind that to do in English is that we would be streaming live on LinkedIn as well. So that's the main reason, we would be doing live there. Very warm welcome because it's still a 1 minute to go there. I will start in a 1 minute time. Today's special topic is about accounting fundamentals. As you know that recently there were A-level examination results were out a couple of weeks ago. And in Republic of Ireland, the Living Cert examinations results will be out on coming Monday. So a lot of new enterprising students are in a way of deciding their career path, and they want to decide what type of career they should adopt moving forward, going into the university. Young people, I'm talking about the young students and young people who are going to go into the university. They have a hard-on pressure from their parents, especially in the Asian community. The Asian community parents are a bit more pressurizing the students to go to become a doctor or to become a software engineer, especially in the case of boys, or to go into the different other fields like accounting. A lot of people ask me this question, especially that I'm a digital marketer. So, is this profession good? Yes, and I always say that the different professions have a different outcome. It all depends on your attitude, how you attempt your profession, how you want to become successful in your life. All the professions in the world are in demand, and accounting is one of them. Today episode, especially episode 1 of our 3 series part, we will be discussing about the accounting fundamentals. Now, when we talk about accounting, it's just a subject which most of the students are a bit afraid to take it. And I don't know why. There could be a variety of reasons behind it. One of the reason could be because it's a very time consuming. It takes a lot of effort to become a good accountant. Accounting today is one of the most promising professions since I can tell you 2017, and data of an Ireland suggests that there is an increase of a 10% over the last 3 years. This data I'm talking about is provided by the Chartered Accountants Ireland Society there. So the people have, or the young students who want to take this as a profession, they have a question in their mind that as an accountant, what I can choose to work in a general practice or in areas. So there are a lot of different areas where as an accountant you can practice. One of them is auditing. The other is tax. Then you can also go into the corporate finance. You can go into the recovery and insolvency. You can go into the forensic accounting. So there's a lot of different aspects of professions available. Now, how you choose your profession depends on your aptitude and depends on what you want to achieve. Like, you could be a doctor. Then for specialization, you could be a heart surgeon, or you could be an orthopedic surgeon, or you could be a gynecologist. Depend on what field you want to do. So is in accounting. You can take in auditing, you can take a tax, you can take a corporate finance, you can take recovery and insolvency, you can take forensic accounting. So then, of course, the most important question is that, is there any job satisfaction being an accountant or practicing an accountancy? So for me, a career in accountancy will definitely give you an opportunity to use many skills, including leadership, problem solving, team building, communication skills, and with many accounting reporting, their ability to help and work directly with the people gives them a great deal of a job satisfaction. Of course, every profession has pros and cons. I'll go through some of the pros of becoming an accountant. And one of the top pros of becoming an accountant is that you know your path. You know where you're going at. Unlike those who has less focused degrees, students pursuing the accountancy courses will have a clear vision of your career path from day one, and you will receive specific training applicable to your career along the way, to which further consolidate your choices and set your career path in stone. Then another pros of becoming an accountant is a potential of growth. So there is a huge potential for a growth. A career in accountancy has a fantastic growth potential. Having begun as an entry-level associate, you will be moving up in the rank in just a few years. If you choose to stay in the practice, you will be supervising the new entry-level associate, and then moving up as a manager, director, and eventually a partner in the firm there. So a question which people also ask is that there is a accountancy high in demand? Yes, accountants will be in demand as long as money exists. It's all about the numbers there. Okay, so salary wise, they are very good, one of the good paid salaries in the world. The main reason to consider a career in accountancy is a salary. Not only do accountants have a potential to earn a very gorgeous and generous salary, they also have been known to receive a great pensions, healthcare, holiday time, and other benefits. You might earn to salt in accounting, but it can, but it can be some great salt there. So that is the reason we thought that we will bring for the young students who are in the middle of deciding their career to become either a computer engineer or a digital managers or a digital professionals or accountants or maybe a doctors So today we will start with the accountancy as a career, and I'm very pleased to say that we have with us today Rahat Kazmi. He's a corporate trainer in United Kingdom. He has just joined with us. Rahat, very welcome to the online stream show there. How are you today?
Oh, thank you, Tosif bhai. I'm very good. How are you? And I'd like to say hello, assalamu alaikum,
I'm good there.
Namaskar to everyone who's listening.
Rahat, it's all your show there. Your free online course PDF is there on the screen, sharing at the moment. You want to discuss about giving an introduction and then take over from, I will be watching you as a host today.
Sure. Okay, guys, today's course is Accounting Fundamentals, and we plan to do that in 3 parts. Okay, so basically, the course will go on, and then if you have any questions, you can send me a message. There's links there on Twitter, Facebook pages, etc., Instagram, where you can find me. There's email as well, and there's a phone number there on WhatsApp and Viber. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. And just to give you an idea of this, once you look at this page here, there's some companies which actually have delivered training courses in the Middle East. They're not all, because I've done training for the last 10 years, but some of them are Orpik in Oman, MEPCO in Saudi Arabia. There's SABIC, which is one of the sister companies of Saudi Aramco, Qatar Petroleum, Kuwait Petroleum. Okay, so basically, I have been working as an accountant in UK for the last, let's say, 20, 25 years. And then worked in different sectors. I worked in financial services, worked in hospitality, worked in casinos, banking, education, facilities management. So I've done work in finance and actually proved to myself, my skills were very much transferable. Okay, just to give you an idea, in today's part, we'll be discussing two topics. First of all, will be what is accounting, and number two will be working with balance sheets and income statements. So basically, there's no need to worry about, as Joseph said, accounting. Everyone is scared up, but I'll go through in such a way that everyone will understand. So you don't need any prior qualifications in accounting. You don't have to be an expert in accounting beforehand to learn this. This is simple, easy peasy, as we said. Okay, so basically, what is accounting? Okay, question arises: what is accounting? Why does it exist? And how old is accounting? So guys, these are very normal questions. People who don't know accounting, they will ask questions, when did it start, and what does it do for us, and all that. Believe me, when we ask for how old is accounting, this is very, very old. Okay, I'm not joking here, guys. Accounting started about 7,000 years ago. I don't know if you heard about clay tokens. Clay tokens are, made of something like brick kind of stones. They were used initially in Mesopotamia, nation 7,000 years ago, and so they started using it. They were using initially. It was basically used by the farmers. Farmers were keeping track of their cattle, their dogs, etc., and their sort of trees and whatever they have. They were using different kind of tokens. Let's say a round one for cow and a triangle one for a lamb or something, or maybe something else for something else. So this is how they kept all the records. So they have identified their inventories or their stock by using different kind of tokens. Okay, this was the first step in accounting. So when they also compared this year's tokens with last year, like with these days we compare last year's figures with this year's figures. So they had lots of tokens. So they compared them with last year. How did they do business last year as compared to this year? Okay, so this would enable them to make some economic decisions at the scene, what to do, what not to do. So then from clay tokens, accounting moved on to sort of tokens to notations, like they started noting things on clays. Okay, they were not clays just then clays became clays tablets. Okay, or maybe sometime they start using chalk on the walls. They start making writings there, numbers, etc. So if in the next slide you can see, let me go back. It went so quick. So there are examples of some which been seen by archaeologists. These are the clay tablets which are used initially. So you can see there are some numbers there. Some are different marks and holes. So these different symbols, they represent different things. From what we see today, accounting is a very vital information, an important part of civilization. So civilization basically can cease to exist if accounting was not there. And I'll prove this to you guys in a few moments. When we go to some examples, I'll tell you exactly why I'm saying that society can cease to exist without accounting. In ancient Egypt, or old Egypt, an accountant was so important, very, very important, in front of the king's eyes, and they were called eyes and ears of the king. Because if let's say the king has lots of soldiers, they will keep record of how many soldiers we have, how many weapons do we have, how many sort of swords we have, and all that. So they were, and how many, what's the ration there, what's the food available, everything was kept in record by accountants there. Okay, so they were the eyes and ears of the king. A lot of people believe the token system or tokens that led to writing. This was the first form of writing, tokens. Then it went to when they started notations. Notations were in the form of writing, basically. So it initially started in Sumer and Elam. These are the old names of cities in Iran, Western Iran. Let's say about 3,500 before Christ, BC. So evolution of writing on tablets. So this was basically, as you can see, we have Apple tablet now, because Samsung tablet at that time, people still had tablets. Of course, not Apple and Samsung, but there won't be Wi-Fi tablets, but the people were still using some kind of tablets to write notes down and do some computations there, some calculations there. Okay. When the question arises, what is accounting? Why does it exist? And how old is accounting? A few questions arise instantly. First of all, we think about quantitative. When we think about quantitative, it means numbers basically. Accounting, when you think about accounting, you all think about numbers. What are numbers? Why numbers? Accounting is all about numbers, guys. Then we think about financial. Financial is money. When you buy or sell something, that means money is involved. You buy something, you spend money. When you sell something, you gain money. Then we talk about being useful. Is accounting useful, or is it practical or theoretical? Yes, it's practical. It helps you keep track on what you bought, what you sold. Decision. Accounting will help you to make decisions. Basically, when we talk about accounting, we don't talk about accounting as a present function. It's always a past function, historic information. We take figures from yesterday's sales, yesterday's purchases, last month's purchases, last week's, last year's, or last 5 years. So these are all historic figures. We look at historic figures, start comparing them, and then from there on, we make decisions from the past for future. So when it comes to accounting, there are 4 types of accounting, guys. The first one is bookkeeping. Then we have financial accounting. Number 3, managerial accounting, and number 4, income tax. I'll go through them one by one. First of all, we'll go through definitions, then we'll go through the detailed information of discuss them what bookkeeping is, what financial accounting is, and what managerial accounting is, and income tax. If you're not from accountancy background, you might think, what's the difference? What's the difference between financial accounting and managerial accounting? But I'll explain to you guys in a few minutes' time. Okay. Then management accounting. Management accounting, when we say management accounting, it basically means accounting for insiders, people who are inside the company. Okay. Information is prepared inside the company. This basically, when management accounting is all for insiders, it's all very secretive, it's all very detailed. Okay. So 4 primary tools are recognized in management accounting. The first one is product costing, break even, budgeting, and performance. And financial accounting basically is for outsiders, people who are not in the company. So this could be your banks, it could be your investors, future investors, or it could even be your suppliers. The 3 different kind of financial statements which are recognized in financial accounting these are the balance sheet, the income statement, and the statement of cash flows. We'll go through them all of them one by one later on. Okay. For some reason, my slideshow runs so fast when I just move one slide. Okay. All right. Okay. I'd just like to discuss importance of accounting. Why is accounting so important? So let's take a small scenario, guys. The scenario is basically what if scenario. If all the novels disappear. To be very honest, guys, I have not read the novel since my college days because, to be honest, I don't get time. I don't have the economical time available to read novels these days. I read them only in college time, only a few of them, but then didn't read them. So one of the famous novelists could be Stephen King. There are lots of horror movies based on his novels. So can you imagine if there was a virus from space, it came to Earth and infected all the viruses on Earth, and all the famous names you might have from Middle East, from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, UK, America, all the famous novels written by famous novelists, all gone. All are destroyed. Nothing left to read anymore. Can you imagine next morning when you woke up, you will wake up to a big tragic cultural loss. Society will be deprived of so many entertainment books, which could entertain you, which can keep you sort of happy. Those are all gone. But can I ask you a question? Would it stop you going to a bank and withdraw your money, withdraw your cash, or use your bank card in a shop to pay, either touch or maybe with PIN, or with maybe if you're still using old PDQ machines, they print out the slip and you sign it. I'm sure that won't happen because it'll still working. It'll keep working. So a lot of people would be very, very sad because so many novels have been destroyed. Okay, and it's a big cultural loss, but it will not sort of affect the society overall. Society will still be working on its day-to-day activities. Okay. Okay. Next scenario is if all bookkeeping records disappear. So can you imagine the second scenario if the same virus came and it's only targeted this time the bookkeeping record, nothing else. So simply all records, bank statements, bank balances, stock reports, airline booking information, everything gone, just vanished from Earth. Now my question to you guys is, will society still function as it should? Can you still go to a bank and withdraw your money? Or can you go to a shop and pay with your credit card? You could be billionaire, but banks will say, "I'm sorry, you can't get the cash out. You can't spend your money because they have no idea how much money you had." You could be penniless, but still, banks will not be able to understand or sort of distinguish your balance. Okay, so if you had a booking, airline booking, going somewhere on, let's say, Aer Lingus or maybe Ryanair or maybe British Airways or sure Posh, maybe a bigger airline, you might turn up at the airport and say, "I have a booking to go somewhere." If all the bookkeeping records had been destroyed, airline will not find your booking, so you will be unable to travel where you want to go. Okay, so this basically bookkeeping's record disappearing will bring a gridlock to society. Society will be totally stop working. Everything will stop. Okay. Okay. Next thing I'd like to discuss about accounting is or bookkeeping is about main function of accounting and bookkeeping is collecting information. Okay. It won't be wrong if I say bookkeeping is all about collecting information, then recording information. So first of all, we need to collect all the information which we gather, and then basically we record it. After recording it, we have to organize it. If all the records we have, they're left, right, and center, if they're not organized properly, we cannot make any economical decisions from it. We can only identify information if it's all well organized. Okay, so this can only be done by a very good bookkeeping system. Okay, once information is recorded and organized, then we can make informed decisions about economies. Okay, I'm going to guys take an example of Walmart about collecting information for bookkeeping. I don't know people who are not in America or don't know, but Walmart is one of the biggest superstores in the world, and there are lots of superstores, Walmart in different countries, especially in America. So just give you an idea. In 2020, for example, in this year only, this figure I think came in April this year. 265 million customers visited Walmart every week throughout the world globally. So see, can you imagine if you are living in Ireland, population is 4 million people. 4 million could be about 65 to 70 times more people living in Ireland. They visit Walmart in a week. So if Walmart failed to have an organized bookkeeping system, they were not able to trace what customers bought, how they paid and how much they paid, and what were their choices, what they prefer to buy, and which products they're selling more than others. I'm sure Walmart will stop to function. They will not function as much as this, or they will not be as a big company as they are now. Okay, I mean, let's take example of even Tesco's. When you go to Tesco's, they will offer you a Tesco Club card. When you go to the till, you have to use your Tesco Club card. Okay, and basically Tesco Club card will basically when the cashier use Tesco Club card, the cashier is collecting information about yourself, who you are, what your card number is, and what you bought this time. And this information is stored in system, and this enables the seller or basically the supermarket to send you offers or discount, etc. To you through email. They can keep track of what you buy, what you don't buy all the time. This is actually not only, this might look like an advertising and marketing in front, but basically this is actually based on a very good accounting system, a bookkeeping system in the background. Okay, so this is how it works. Okay, so we talked about Walmart. Let's talk about Coca-Cola. But bookkeeping system collecting information. More than 650 billion servings of Coca-Cola drinks are enjoyed in more than 200 countries each year. 650 billion servings of Coca-Cola every year. So this basically makes 100 serving of Coca-Cola to every man, woman, and child on earth. Can you imagine? It's a big number. That means Coca-Cola has every woman, man, and child on earth drinking 100 Coca-Colas a year. Okay, so basically, if they don't have any fantastic bookkeeping system, I'm sure they will not be able to keep track on who's buying it, what they're buying it, how much they're paying, are the sales going up and down. And I'm sure this kind of record, 650 billion serving a year, we cannot keep a note of that on back of tissue paper. It has to be some kind of booking system in place to record everything. Yeah. Okay. Next example, I think I'm sure all of you are aware of Google. Okay. Or Google collects information. If you know Google, they have 1 to 2 trillion searches a year, and it makes it a joint website on planet. Okay, most visited website on planet. Have you ever thought how they make money? Google makes money when people click on advertisements given by sellers, clicks, number of ads, and if they can't keep track on how many clicks have been on one ad, they can't really make money. So this is how they need to have the data or log somewhere, which gives information of how much clicks have been on each ad, so they can charge people as per the clicks. Okay, so basically, I think advertised once or twice per clicks. I think it worked really well, but it doesn't seem that expensive when you look at clicks. But then when you could be surprised when they send you data of the clicks each time you put an ad, how many clicks it had, or number of views and number of clicks, basically two different things. Okay, if they didn't have some kind of fantastic computer system or bookkeeping system in place, they would not be able to make money, or they would not be able to keep track, or they would not be able to be so big website, or let's say a search engine. Okay, let me give example of personal budget. We talked about big clients now. We talked about multinationals now. Let's talk about personal budget. How it helps us, personally as a person. Well, let's focus on personal budget instead of Google, Walmart, Coca-Cola. After all, of course, we all spend money. We all should have budget at home. We all have income and we have expenditures. So we need to keep track on what goes in, what goes out. Would you not like to know how much money yearly fixed or variable expenses are? We need to know exactly how many fixed income we have every year, or how many fixed expenses we have every year. For example, in most cases in UK or Europe, rent could be mostly fixed because you pay same amount of rent every year or every month. But then when it comes to phone bills, or when it comes to grocery shopping, when it comes to utility bills will be slightly variable. Of course, fixed line items will be there, but then of course usage can go up and down, and we can spend more money. If you don't have a budget in place, this is basically collecting information. If you don't have information on how much we're spending, how much money we're making, we will be basically out of focus, and we will lose track. We'll be spending money left, right, and center, and we will lose track. We will be out of budget, and basically we'll be in trouble. We'll be going in red, basically. So we need to use a simple bookkeeping system for ourselves as well. Some people will use this in the head, but if you use that in a paper, or maybe in a small computer, or even your small app in your smartphone, that can really help. I'm going to stop the screen because screen is really flowing through. I'll just work anyway through it. I'll open up on the side. Let's see. Okay. This time I'll share part screen, I think. What do you think?
It's okay as you are comfortable. Is it probably better to tap it so it goes one by one? But I'll.
Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. That's better. That's better. Okay, right. Okay. All right. So what is bookkeeping? Basically, bookkeeping is defined as preservation of systematic quantitative record of transactions. So we have a transaction when we buy something or when we sell something. That's a transaction. So we need to basically have a system which can record this transaction, okay, in a nice way, okay. So we can record all the quantity, how much we served, how much we sold, how much we bought. It's important to keep record of each transaction in order to make informed decisions. So basically, even when we have a delivery note, we have a delivery cost. We even went to a local shop to buy a bottle of milk, or we went by taxi somewhere as a businessman. Everything, single thing should be kept somewhere, kept on date wise and same month, so everything can get recorded. In this way, we can keep track on things. We can know exactly how much we spend, how much is there. In bookkeeping, transactions are written down, recorded before sophisticated decisions can be made. So basically, first step will be to record information, collect information, and record it and organize it. And without organizing it, you cannot make any fantastic decision from it. In bookkeeping, past information is recorded. Basically, information is from yesterday, from last week, last month, last year, comparing this year with last year, comparing this year with last 4 to 5 years time. So basically, this is how we can compare. Bookkeeping is all about historic data, not current data, not data for future. Okay. Okay, financial accounting. Financial accounting, basically in detail. Financial accounting or financial reporting basically is a result of accompanying business to the stock. Basically, information which we share to stakeholders. Stakeholders are people. It could be taxman, it could be a supplier, it could also be an investor or future sort of investor, or anybody who is outside the company interested in your business, or somebody who is even living in your area. If you have Tesco or sort of Sainsbury's near you, you will also like the stakeholder. You would like to know, how are they running the business, because you would like to make sure there's Tesco in place somewhere, so you can always go do shopping nearby instead of going far away. So we are stakeholders. So because this is for everyone outside, information is in summary. It's not given in detail. So it's a very secret, very open information in summary. It's not detailed information. It doesn't give them everything. Okay. So basically, let's give example of basically working with. Okay, didn't miss anything? No, miss. Okay. Example of taking a mortgage, for example. Let's talk about balance sheet and income statements. Did I miss something? Just to see? No. Right.
No, you are on the right slide. 24.
Okay. Let's take example of taking a mortgage. If we apply for a mortgage, we need to go to building society, a bank, and ask them for a loan. And what they would ask us, first of all, they will like to verify our income, how much money we have, how many assets do we have, how many obligations or liabilities we have. Without doing that, bank will not be able to give us a mortgage. They will not be able to give us a loan. So basically, it will not only work in our favor if we have good, sort of financial report, financial information about ourselves. So basically, when we talk about financial information is not only needed for, let's say, a big company, a big business, but also ourselves. We also need financial information about ourselves. Financial information which banks collect, which sort of credit reference agencies collect on behalf of us. They like to know exactly, if me, Rahat, or Tasi have taken a bank credit card, did they pay the credit card bill on time, or did they not pay on time? Did they default anywhere? That information is passed on to future lenders, and they will make the decision: yes, a very good customer or a very bad customer. Stay away or accept with open eyes. Open hand accept it or leave, walk away. Okay.
Risk management, basically.
Basically, risk management. This is what financial information is all about. Risk management. When other risk comes to bigger companies or ourselves, even personally. So when the large companies, they look at your information, financial information, or financial accounting, financial reports, they like to calculate the risk. They like to see exactly, are you doing good business or bad business? Will it be good to invest in your company, or should they just walk away? Okay. In short, when you're presenting your personal financial statements, a summary of income, assets and liabilities to the bank basically will like to see, that is it good for them to give you business or give you loan. If your credit rating is bit poor, let's say you're not paid people on time, you have been sort of lacking information, you stayed behind in few defaults, etc. You might still get loan, but basically they might put the price up. They might increase the risk level. By putting the price up, they will charge. They will basically cover the risk. We are going to make this much money in this time. So fine, if we even lose money, we'll have made enough money by then. So
Just to cut down, guys who are listening, the take from this whole thing is that, yeah, doctors are very good profession, good paid profession. Like Rahat was saying, risk management. Let me tell you one thing. Risk management is a very high demand with the banks. This profession is a very much in high demand. I see on Indeed every second week that it's been heavily advertised in all of the Europe, and especially in United Kingdom and Ireland, because banks are always looking for the risk assessments. The people who lend the loans have to go to the risk assessment department of the bank to undermine it, whether this sort of a loan can be given or not given. And like Rahat was saying, if it has to be given, would have been given in the normal markup, or should have been given into the higher markup there, or refuse the loan. Carry on, Raj. Sorry, I just wanted to
no, of
put a
course.
point there. Yeah.
Basically, what the bank wants to do, bank wants to minimize their risk, as Wasif said, and they like to make sure, can you pay the money back? Can you pay the loan back? So basically, they like to make sure you have enough income, you have enough savings, you don't have enough liabilities. If you have, when they ask you for personal budgets or personal sort of loans, etc., they like to make sure when you get some income every month, how much money is outgoing for you, how much money you have left over after paying all the bills. If you have lots of credit card bills going out every month, then you want to get a mortgage, you want to get a loan, they like to make sure, can you pay it back or not? Okay, so this is basically, if we have personal statement in a better way, let's say when we go to the bank, for example, we need to produce our pay slips. We might have to sort of give them P60, which is annual tax certificate we give to them. We like to make sure that we are presenting our personal financial statement. Similarly, when the businesses, they give loans to other businesses, they like to look at their financial statement as well. They like to look at their financial accounting reports. All right. Let's take example of opening an ice cream factory. Okay, let's say we know someone who wants to open an ice cream factory, and they were told, ice cream factory is going to cost you $100 million to open. Okay, basically that will mean buying the land, building a building on top of it, getting all the equipment and fixing the fittings. To set it all up is going to cost $100 million. Okay, so can you imagine $100 million is a lot of money. Even 100 million euros basically a lot of money. So 100 million rupees is even less money. So when we think about starting a factory, ice cream factory from start, we need to see exactly where can we get this money from. Who will invest this money to us? Who will give us this money? I'm sure when we look around and ask from friends and from family members, I'm sure none of the family members will be able to lend this money. Our friends will not. 100 pound, 200 pound is fine, but 100 million pounds, I'm sure people say, no, I'm sorry, take a walk, guy. I'm sorry, I'm not interested. I don't have it. So we need to basically get this money from strangers. So now you'll be surprised. Why would strangers give us the money? We need to give money. We need to get money from strangers to start our business. And strangers will give us the money when they realize what we're going to do with it. We need to present our financial statement to them. We need to tell them exactly what financial plan is. How we're going to do the business. How will we set up? How much land we have? How much assets we already have? And we need to present exactly the full plan. Yeah, and then if they're satisfied, they will happily invest. Because people like to make profits, and if they see your project is profitable, it can make money for them, they will go ahead. Okay, types of financial statements. Number one, we have balance sheet. Other one is income statement. These are basically two major ones. Then we have cash flow statement as well, but let's go and focus on these two first. Balance sheet is what? As it says from the name, balance sheet. Balance sheet basically means it should always balance. Debit and credits of the balance sheet, they should always be exactly the same, equal numbers. List of companies' resources, which is assets, and obligations, which are liabilities. Balance sheet will list obligations and assets. Okay, so assets are in the form of cash, for example, land, budgets, fixtures and fittings, raw materials, stock, etc. The cash in the bank, they're all our assets. Obligations are, for example, money we owe to our suppliers, the bills we have to pay, bank loans, etc. The wages we have to pay to staff. They're all basically obligations or liabilities. In short, basically, what you have and what you owe, that's balance sheet. Yeah, what you have, what you owe, that's balance sheet. The next one is income statement, which is also known as profit and loss report or profit and loss statement. How much money, revenue does a business make? How much money they're making every year, or every month, every week? How much does it take? How much does it cost to run the business? Basically, when we look at profit and loss, on top we have revenue, then we have basically cost of sales, gross profit, and we have net profit. Will be checking all the expenses out. Okay, so this is basically income statement will be how much money a business is making and how much cost it has involved to run the business. Okay, now we're going to go into nitty-gritty of main theme of basically the course now. Hopefully in the next half an hour, 40 minutes, we're going to discuss the two topics, which will be determining the cost of products. How can we work with the cost? How each item or each product we buy and sell, how can we work with the cost exactly? And then how can we do the break-even analysis? Okay, we'll go through what they mean, what they are. Okay. So
before we go there, if someone has any question, want to ask there, maybe you have some in mind, you are more than welcome to ask question in Urdu, English, whatever you wanted. Anything related to the accountancy practice, anything which has been shown in the slides, or you want to ask any particular about maybe you are a parent, you want to ask about the career, about your son or your daughter, or you want to choose or you want to change a career, there you're more than welcome to ask the question there. We will have at the end approximately 5 to 10 minutes before we summarize and conclude for the next section, which would be same time, 10 Pakistan Standard Time or 6 Greenwich mean time. Next Friday, I'll definitely announce on all the platforms. Sorry, go ahead and answer.
Sure. Next, basically, we're trying to determine the cost of products. So, and also we also going through the number three, which is managerial accounting. First, we talk about bookkeeping, then we talk about special accounting, and then let's talk about managerial accounting. Managerial accounting, as we discussed briefly before, managerial accounting is all accounting for insiders, people who are inside the company. So when we talk about managerial accounting, this basically means, first of all, it's very detailed, it's very secretive, and it's sort of it's on daily basis. It's daily business basically. We have to do managerial accounting on daily basis. A lot of people will think they have not come across basically managerial accounting, but they are wrong. When we work in any business at all, we must have dealt with some kind of managerial accounting, because it's all about information. It's all about information gathering here and there. We must have done something about managerial accounting. So basically, accounting data is used internally to make decisions. When we talk about managerial accounting, it is meant to be detailed reporting, daily reporting, organizing of data, which is a secret data. It should not be shared outside of the company. And when we say secretive data, basically, it also means sometimes inside the company is also a need-to-know basis. That is, some information in accounting cannot be shared with everyone. For example, the payroll information of the executives, the managers, of everyone, it can only be shared with other head of accounting or maybe the payroll officer. So other people in finance even will not be able to see that information. Or maybe the head of the company will be able to see. But it's just that managerial accounting is also secretive, sometimes secretive from lots of people in the company as well. Okay, people are going to use internal data intensively on daily basis. Basically, they need to use data intensively. So because we have lots of detailed information, we need to gather that, we need to record it, and we need to organize it. If we don't organize the data inside, you cannot make informed decisions. So we can this managerial accounting can help us making decisions like, for example, if we have a business of selling cars, should we be selling family cars or should we be selling sports cars? Depending on the trends, depending on the area we live in, depending on demographic, we check where we live in, what kind of people live in the area. Are there most families living in this area? Are most people who are rich and wealthy, they live in this area? So should we sell sports cars or should we sell family cars? Similarly, if you're running an ice cream shop, managerial accounting can let us know, can inform us, should we basically be selling strawberry ice cream or vanilla ice cream? Should we sell the cone ice cream or the cup ice cream? So this is basically information which we gather, and then this will let us make decisions. Similarly, if we have office in regions, we can also look at various figures in different regions. We can see exactly, okay, we have office in Manchester. Should we open an office in Liverpool? Or should we also open an office in Leeds? Or should we keep expanding? Or should we close one office because maybe one office is not so profitable? Okay, so this managerial accounting will enable us to make informed decisions on our business. So guys, managerial accounting data is designed to be shared with outsiders. Okay, so it's not designed to share as compared to we have the financial accounting data, which is shared with people outside the company. Think about managerial accounting as an inside detail and secretive information system. Basically, when we talk about, we can see the distinction here between managerial accounting and financial accounting. Sometimes we get the job titles, management accountant and financial accountant. The management accountant is the person who will basically be working in the company. He'll be preparing information for the company. When we also discuss in the intro to see if when you're talking about what the careers were. If people are doing SEMA, for example, SEMA people are basically management accountants. If you like to become CFO of a company, Chief Financial Officer, it's better to go for SEMA route because SEMA will make you a Chief Financial Officer. You are really working for inside the company. If you like to do ACCA or ACA or CA, that's basically will take you to auditing and taxation mostly. Then you're working for financial reporting or you become financial accountant there. Okay, so basically, managerial accounting, it can be your company, managerial accounting can also become a competitive tool, a tool which can really create your competitive edge. It can really make you go ahead of other companies. It can really, if it's done properly and precisely, it can really take you ahead of company. That's why managerial accounting is also considered as strategic accounting, which can make you decide strategically how you're here today, where you want to go. So you have to really take steps in order to go further. Okay, I'm going to prove my point here to see if when we say managerial accounting can be really offering a competitive tool, or it can become a competitive edge if we use it properly. Let's take an example of two grocery stores. Let's say the two grocery store number one, grocery store number two, they're in front of each other on the same road, and they have exactly the same thing. They're selling exactly the same kind of shelf. Their item on the shelf is exactly the same. Their ambience also is exactly the same. When you go into the shop, you can see the both are nicely decorated, same kind of shelves, same kind of, let's say, argument's sake, they have the same kind of area in shop as well. So they're exactly the same. They look exactly the same from outside, from inside. They get exactly the same kind of materials to sell, raw food, etc. Anything else they sell, grocery stores, exactly the same. But the difference is in the bookkeeping styles. Grocery store number one will be very traditional. They are only interested in paying the bills and paying the wages to the staff who have not been paid yet. Okay, but on grocery store two, they have tracking detailed data. They keep tracking detailed data all the time. So they like to make decisions. ABC costing, for example, ABC costing, activity-based costing. They like to make sure every activity it takes place in the store. It has a cost involved, and they record the cost. Sales by time of the day, so they can print sales report any time of the day. Lunchtime, every lunchtime, how many sales we have? In the evening time, every evening, how many sales do we have? On the bank holiday or weekend, how many sales do we have? They can print everything as they go along. They can keep track of their sales on daily basis or maybe hourly basis even. They know customer demographics. They might have loyalty point system like Tesco, for example. When customers pay the bill, they can see how much customers spend and what they bought. Did they buy an ice cream? What kind of flavor ice cream they like? So when if you go to Halford, for example, the Halford, like the auto store, Halford will ask you to give the email address. Instead of printing a receipt for you, they will send you an email. An email basically, okay, you can say, fine, don't give me the receipt, send me an email, but basically you are giving them your email address. Every time they have a new offer, they will send you by email.
I think so. Most of the store in Europe now are being inclined to send the receipts by email. That's why they keep the track of the email. and phone numbers combination of it, and then after every 2 years they keep on asking, are you on the same email or not? Have you changed your email? So that's the way of keeping a track of it, the
See, they're
customers.
clever. They're clever here to see, because first of
Yeah,
all, they're saving money on the paper costs. They don't. If you print paper,
sure.
it's going to cost some money. Then they're also collecting your email address. It's value for money.
That's
They
right.
know
Yeah.
exactly how they can talk to you, how they can communicate to you.
Coming to your example there, I was surprised a few days ago was my birthday, and I got a surprise gift from Amazon. Now I'm a heavy buyer in Amazon because I do a drop shipping from different stores there, from eBay and from other stores, and from Shopify as well. So I got a gift from an Amazon, very nice wrap pack there. I did a video of it when I was opening it, so I'll share it next time probably. That is one of the example of keeping the birthdays of your customers as well. Now it all comes on when you track your data there, and there is a strength in numbers, like Rahat is saying. All the big joints like Amazon, Walmart in United States. Now talking about the Walmart, I didn't interrupt it at that time. Walmart is being said that in current pandemic, if Amazon and Walmart was not there, U.S. economy would have been toppled by now. They have supported the deliveries, even right from a small pin to the grocery items there. Now, there is no Tesco in United States. Sorry, in the United States, yeah, it's in the UK and Ireland and Europe. So Walmart and Amazon has been delivering groceries in pandemic, where people there was a quarantine and people couldn't go out there. Now, if they didn't had a data, if they didn't had a data, they would have been in a difficult position even to deliver those things. So once you shop there, they keep their data there, right from your personal preferences to your emails to your phone numbers. And that's what Rahat is saying, is it's all about accountancy. Go ahead, sir.
But to see,
Please.
basically, if they didn't have infrastructure of delivery
That's correct as
before
well.
before the COVID-19 started, they would not be able to do it. So even Amazon and Walmart, they had this infrastructure in place long time before COVID-19 started, so they could deliver to home delivery, because they got robots now, they got
That's correct.
drones as well. Amazon uses drones these days.
Yes, they are using drone. Even the one of the biggest joint of pizza, what's called Domino's. They have been delivering the pizzas in the United States without driver. It's
Very nice.
driverless. Yes, they've been delivering it. You
Impressive.
just go out there. There's a hub there. The car comes in. You pay. You put it the credit card or debit card where you have ordered there. A boot opens up and you can take up the warm pizza, and that's all.
Excellent.
It's yes, and medicines as well. Amazon has been dropping the medicines where they couldn't reach because of the situation, or they were quarantined by drones there. So this is a prime example of all accountancy, and accountancy is a numeric number. You
Of course.
need to have a data of that.
True. Okay, just discussing same two grocery stores, for example, which I was talking about. So I would like to prove, is this competitive edge to use accounting as competitive as or not. So let's discuss example of two grocery stores which are right in front of each other. The same street, grocery store number 1 and grocery store number 2. Basically, apparently, both are exactly the same. As I said before, they have exactly the same thing as each other. Only thing is their accounting. So grocery store number 1 is very traditional and don't do anything, but they're only concerned about paying the employees their wages and paying the suppliers. But grocery store number 2, management team knows that managerial accounting can be used as competitive tool. So they like to use it. Here is what they do. And with the accounting system, they use bookkeeping to gather data, they organize the data, and then they use that to make decisions. Okay, so this is what they do in grocery store number 2. So grocery store number 2 staff know itemized cost of each and everything they buy. Okay, so because they let's say they buy some milk, then exactly how much each, if they buy the full big pack of milk, how much each small bottle will cost them. Okay, including delivery, etc. So staff number of the person who is shelving them all, so they will have the cost done for each and every item of the shop they're selling it. Okay, and then this will give them an opportunity to basically work at the price of their cost, and then see exactly can they really afford to give a customer 20 to 30% discount on the cost they have or not. So because they already know they're not still selling anything without any profit, so they know if they have not checked it or even worked it out, they can't give any discounts to anyone because they will not know. They know exactly how low they can go in selling prices without making any loss. They can still make profits. So with their activity-based costing, are generally known as ABC costing, they can work out the pricing every single minute. They can work out the cost of every single item they have in the grocery store. So they know what people are buying, and they can offer them loyalty cards, loyalty points, like Tesco does. Okay, and this will give them information, opportunity to collect data from the customer, basically what customer is buying, how much they're spending each time, what is their favorite ice cream, for example, what is their favorite burger, what else what kind of milk they buy. Do they buy pasteurized milk or do they buy skim milk? Okay, this kind of information makes easier for grocery store to target their promotions. So they can target their promotions to customers, send them an email. Okay, come to store next bank holiday weekend. We can offer this. Like Little does. Little has some days, I think Monday or something. Every Monday they will have some special offers. People know. They send email to you. They send newsletter to you. You can come and see what is on offer. And I'm sure their prices. If people don't know, they will not go.
And the current example would be that in coming time, in days or weeks, there Black Friday is coming as well. So it's crazy there in United States about the Black Friday.
True. Of course, Black Friday, Christmas sales. Next sales, on Christmas for UK is crazy. People, I think maybe it's something 2,000 to 3,000 people they gather outside the next store.
That's
They all
really,
like to get in. And once I was in Dublin when I went to test.
next,
Next in,
yeah.
I think it was
People
close
people
to.
queue
I
queue up
think it
at
went
5 o'clock in the morning. 5 o'clock in the morning.
I once went to the Swords, next in
Yeah.
Swords.
Hmm.
We were waiting outside, and I hardly go, but I think this time I said I'll go there. And when the store door opened, everyone pushed each other, just like
Yeah.
we're going to a bus in Rawalpindi, for example. And they pushed everyone in. And there was one
Yeah.
lady waiting there. She was staff working there, and one guy he pushed her in. She nearly sort of fell in the escalators going down.
Oh my God. Yeah,
So
that's commonly happens there,
yeah.
because it's a half price sale, and their sales are very good. Next one anyway, everybody talks about it. I happened to be once in my lifetime went there in the morning with my wife there, and I said never again. 5 o'clock in the morning, they must be crazy.
No, honestly, I think they bring different stock. Their stock for sales is the same as what they sell normally, to be honest. They bring different stock altogether. So
That's
I
right.
don't go anymore.
Yeah, of course, it's a preference choice as well.
Okay, because the grocery store knows how many people they need to staff on each day, because they know exactly how much they sell. They know exactly, because they have such a fantastic bookkeeping system. They see exactly what day is busy for them. They know how many people they need to have each day to serve customers, or how much stock they need to have to sell to people. For example, on a Monday morning, they might have few bottles of milk, but on Saturday morning, Sunday morning, they might have extra milk bottles to store because a lot of people come in the morning. So they have this kind of information available. Okay, so how much stock they should have. They also know the customer demographics, who lives in this area, who buys more. Are they families, are they kids, are they older people, what they like to buy, what they want to do. And then the people will give them the email address. They have loyalty card, etc. So they gather information as they go. So they know the habits of people, habits of the customers. They know exactly what they're buying, what they have preferences and all. Although this practice is of knowing customer, it might sound like that is marketing or maybe advertising, but no, it's basically, it looks like marketing, advertising on front, but on the background, it's based on a very good bookkeeping system, to be honest. It's a managerial accounting system and the data behind it which makes it possible to gather information about individual customers. Okay, now let's see the difference.
I think so. We will finish after this because it will be 1 hour and over the strength there, and then we'll do a part 2 there. If that okay with you, or you have more slides to cover?
It's okay to say, no problem. We can finish it.
Yeah, I think so. There's too much observing people for the first time, and they might have some questions. We have a quite good number of people with us there, so they might have some questions there. But let's you finish first.
Let me finish the slides and we can take some questions.
Sure.
Okay, so basically, no, let's talk about what's the difference there. Okay, grocery store 2, which is equipped with sophisticated accounting system, is much more organized and gets competitive edge as compared to grocery store number 1. Okay, uh, basically, which only is concerned about who they have to pay the suppliers, they have to pay the wages. So basically, who do you think will win in the long run? Grocery store number 1 or grocery store number 2? I'm sure you will all agree the grocery store number 2 will win because they are more sort of tracking the information, and they will make better decisions economically as compared to grocery store number 1. Well, guys, so this is we can end here today. So hopefully you all sort of gather information. I try to make sure the information was passed on simply as we could instead of going into details. All right. Any questions we have?
We have Aisha, Abrar, Sayed Nakwi. I can open your mic there if you want to ask any questions there, or anyone there who wants to ask a question or anything related to the accountancy profession, if it's okay with you. Aisha, I've opened up your mic there. All right, they might be choosing on might there. All right. Before we close the today episode, which is episode 1, I want to share something here. Hold on. Okay. What we wanted to discuss is that, like I said, that my opening speech, that people, uh, especially the young students there, um, it's very hard for them to decide a career. Okay. Most of them parents push them, like I said in my opening speech, Asian background parents, go for a doctor or go for a software engineer or go for digital marketing. This is quite good there. When we were growing up, probably me and Rahat, in our college, they were all about MBA, do MBA. And now these days, it's just a streamlined, not a streamlined process of doing an MBA. People are choosing different. There's a biotechnology profession there. I'm trying to find out someone who can speak on biotechnology. A huge number of people asking about biotechnology, and their son or daughter wants to do a biotechnology. There, this is a common question there. Digital marketing, of course, that's my field. I wanted to do some live there, but we'll do it. But let's discuss it at the core, which is the accountancy topic of the today. The 3-part of episode, what we are going to cover, it's showing on the screen, is that we did discuss today what is accountancy, working with balance sheets and income statements, and determining the cost of products there, performing break-even analysis. Then this is very, very, what you call, hardcore sort of subject matter there. You need a little bit of a focusing there. It's not that someone comes there and give a presentation and what Rahat is delivering today in the corporate sector easily. We can charge about 4,000 and 5,000 pounds sterling for this sort of this, which is coming to you free, courtesy of Rahat Kazmi. So I would definitely ask you people to think of this profession. If you are a parent, think of your profession for your kid there. It's a sort of a profession. You need to have an aptitude. That's first thing. That's for sure. But it reveals a good rewards, good salary, good perks, like I discussed in my opening speech. And hopefully with the today episode 1 of the 3-part series, you would have a little bit of an idea, who are not from the accounting background or from the banking background or for the financial background, that accounting plays a very important role in our life. And so we should also encourage our children there to try to see if they have an aptitude of going into this sort of a streamlined profession there. If yes, encourage them. It's a very good profession, although it has been a little bit of a sideline because of the other professions, like I keep on saying about doctor or artificial intelligence in our digital
Sorry,
marketing
Steve,
there.
can I step in?
Please.
Just like to add what you're saying earlier on, basically. I've been in UK for nearly 32 years, and I think I have realized, they call accounting as select profession. If you're working as an accountant in UK, or you're working as a teacher, for example, or accounting profession, you can sign the application of a British citizen. Who, if someone wants to apply for British citizenship, you can attach a form as just write your name and write accountant, and Home Office accepts it because they value you so much. They think you're such a noble person. Plus, in industry in UK, there's a general trend. People think, an accountant has answer to everything. Accountant knows answers for all the questions. So if you're an accountant, you're considered as very, very switched on person. So I think when it comes to accounting profession or selecting accounting as a trade, or as basically your profession, it can also be done as a degree in accounting, a master degree in accounting, or you can also do through apprentice courses. For example, if you have not finished your
you can do a diploma as well.
Yeah, if you didn't do very good marks, you can do GCSE, then you can do maybe an AAT level 1, 2, 3, and 4. So AAT are very simple courses. When you finish one AAT level,
AATs are accounting technician. You're
yeah, accounting technicians basically, level 1, level 2, level 3. So every time you finish one level, you get extra income, you get more money in a job, and then you can also, let's say when you finish AAT, you can go to ACCA, or if you finish A level, you can go to ACCA directly and start from level 1, level 2, and when you do 2 levels of ACCA or CIMA, you consider as part qualified accountant.
That's
correct. Part qualified accountant in the UK, they earn between 25 to 45,000 pounds a year.
That's
when you're fully qualified, income starts from 55 to 150,000 pounds easily. When you fully qualified.
I've also seen the part qualified accountant going to the top ranks there with the passage of the time. They get exposure and experience as well.
Yes, I think. Well, many years ago, so see if it was very easy to consider experience as education too. But I think these days trends are changing a little. But still, if you're experienced, you can do the things. People will. I mean, qualified by experience is a good thing, but it doesn't get paid that much as compared to qualified.
Of course.
Some people may not need a qualification, but they might need to just show yes, I'm also qualified, and then to get more money. But otherwise, if you'll be working in accounts for many years, I'm sure you can get the job done easily.
All right. Thank you very much, Rahat, for today, Rahat. Inshallah, I will see you next week, Friday, same time.
Okay.
If any questions there, I'll definitely come back to you there. People normally ask questions when the live is over there. This happens all the time with me, and suddenly they are very shy of coming live immediately and asking questions. But thank you for today's episode there of 3-part series. We'll see you next week, Friday, 10 o'clock Pakistan Standard Time, or 6 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time, GMT. Have a nice day and keep yourself safe there.
Thank you for having me, and everyone, bye-bye. Take good care. Have a nice evening.
Same to you.
If you have any questions, please let Tosif know, and we'll answer questions in the next session before we start the next session.
Thank you very much.
Guys.
Okay.